get you some. Oh, yeah. Mate, it's lucky she can cook. Wow!
G'day lovelies, welcome back. Alrighty, first up tonight, Vietnamese Spring Rolls. I'll write the recipe below as always, but let's go through it. 1 red capsicum, 1 carrot, 750ml of peanut oil, which works out to 3 cups. We need 1 barbecue chook or 700 grams of chicken breast fillets cooked. A 4cm piece of ginger grated, or we'll use a jar ginger. 2 cloves of garlic crushed, or we'll use a jar garlic. 4 spring onions. 100 grams of vermicilli noodles. 1 tablespoon of finely chopped mint. 500 grams of bok choy shredded. So with the bok choy, I've got 3 large ones, which worked out to 550 grams, so that will do. 3 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. 1 egg. First thing we want to do is get out a large bowl to shove everything in. What I'm going to do is cut the bottoms off. Alright, ditch them, and then I'm going to wash all the leaves and stems together. Once we've done that, I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of the bok choy and dry them off with some paper towel. So we don't want soggy spring rolls, so definitely dry them off. And now what we want to do is we want to cut them up paper thin, and we want to cut up the whole thing, every single bit of it. Then dry the next lot, slice it up, dry the next lot, slice it up, and chuck it all in our big ass bowl. Now with the capsicum, I usually just cut the top off, cut it in half. And then what you want to do is you want to get out all the seeds, and you want all of the white stuff out. Alright, once you've done that, you've got it looking like this. And then I'm just going to cut them into paper thin strips. I reckon I might do them a bit shorter. Alright, and just cut it all up, paper thin, and throw it in our big ass bowl. Alright, now with our carrot, we want to chop the ends off, peel it, and then grate it into our big ass bowl. Now we want to chop up roughly 1 tablespoon of mint. I'm supposed to use Vietnamese mint, but I can't find it, so I'm just using regular mint. And chuck it in our big ass bowl. Next thing we want to do is get our spring roll wrappers out to thaw. Now I was going to use the little ones today, but I reckon I might use the big ones because I do love a big spring roll. So if you're going to use the little ones, you want roughly a rounded tablespoon of mixture on each one. Now for our chicken, we want to get the chook and we want to pull it completely to bits. And you know the breast, how you get that pulled pork where you just pull it apart and stringy bits, we want to do that. If you have to cook up your 700 grams of chicken breast, once they've cooled down, pull them all to bits. Add them to our big ass bowl. Once we've done that, our bowl should be looking like this. Now, if you've got warm chicken, it's really easy to pull apart. If you've got a cold chook, it's nearly impossible. So I had a cold chook, so what I did is I just cut it all really, really thin. Next we need 4 spring onions. We want them all chopped and cleaned and then sliced up really, really thin. I never use all of it, but always go up about halfway, like so. And I'll clean and then chop all of that up nice and thin. Once we've done that, we want to chuck it in a little frying pan. We now want to get our 2 cloves of fresh garlic and crush them in there, or 2 heaped teaspoons of jar garlic. Then we want to get our 4cm piece of fresh ginger, grated really small, and chuck that in there, or just a little bit of a heaped teaspoon of the jar ginger. The tiniest little bit of either oil or butter. Now we want to stick it on a medium heat, and with a flip, we just want to keep flipping it around literally for 1 minute. All we're doing is cooking the ginger and the garlic. Literally 1 minute later, and oh, what a smell. Alright, so now we just want to turn that off and set that aside to cool down. Now we need our 100 grams of vermicilli. It's really cool, they make these in 100 gram packets as well. And what I've noticed is there is no Australian brand. Well, not in this part of the woods anyway. So if there's anybody out there, corner the market, mate. Start making Australian vermicelli. Oh yeah. So we want to stick our 100 grams in a heat-proof bowl. Alright, now we want to fully cover it in our boiling water. And then we want to set our timer for 2 minutes. Alrighty, 2 minutes later. Now what we want to do is we want to drain out the water really well. I'm just going to leave it sit there for a couple of minutes to cool down a bit. Alrighty, a couple of minutes later. Now I'm just going to put it into like a log. And I'm just going to start at one end and just chop roughly. And then I'm just going to leave it sit there for another minute or so. And then I'm going to chuck it in our big ass bowl. Once we've done that, we now want to add our spring onion mix. Now we want to mix it well. I'm just going to grab 2 forks and just slowly keep doing this until it's all mixed in. Now we want 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And 3 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. Now I don't know if you can see that. I love using this Trident one. It comes from Thailand and it is absolutely amazing. Now we want to mix them through really well. Once we've done that, our mix will look like this and we are ready to rock and roll. Alright, by now our spring roll wrappers should be thawed. So we want to take them out of the packet and put them on a plate. To keep them from drying out, I'm just going to get a new chucks, put it full of water, rinse it out and then stick it over the top as we're rolling them to keep them like that. Now we want to get 1 egg and whisk it with a fork. Now I'm going to grab a tray with baking paper just to sit them all on. Now we want to get a 1/4 cup measurement and we want to push in 1/4 cup, nice and firm. Alright, put that out. Put it into a little log. Now we fold both the sides over. Fold it over that. And then I like to wrap them nice and tight. Then when you get down to the last bit here, you just want to get a little bit of the egg on your finger. Cover the edge. Roll it up. Like so. And then I'll place them on the tray with the seam down. And we keep going. Remember to firmly pack 1/4 cup in there. Fold both the sides over, trying to keep them reasonably straight. Fold over the top of that. Then tuck it in nice and tight. A little bit of egg wash on the end. Roll it up. And remember, on the tray, seam down. And keep on going. Okay, so I broke one and the bottom wrapper was already ripped. So I've got a little bit left over. So if you happen to have a little bit left over, stick it in a bowl with Glad wrap. And then next time you cook up a bit of steak or a crumb chop or something, you can throw that on the plate as a salad. Now it makes perfect 20 big spring rolls. So what I've done is I've laid the first lot out and then I put some Glad wrap over the top and then sat the next lot on top. So now I'm just going to throw a bit of Glad wrap over that and make myself a frigging coffee. And then when I finish my coffee, we'll cook them. Oh mate, I have a tiny kitchen and it looked like a big bomb hit it, so I had to clean up a bit to cook them. Okay, now I'm going to do the dipping sauce. Now you can just have plain sweet chili sauce that's yummy as on its own, or you can do a lime chili sauce. So what I've done is I have sliced up 1 spring onion really thin into a bowl. I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sweet chili sauce. Now for the lime juice, I went to grab limes and they were $18 a kilo and I thought I just can't afford that. So I've gone to the baking aisle and I've got this lime juice and it's $1.85. Once you use it, you stick it in the fridge and for me that is perfect. So 2 tablespoons of either fresh or bottled lime juice. Mix it through. And once it's mixed through properly, we've now got our dipping sauce ready, and you can put it into whatever bowl you want to put it in at serving time. So I picked this oil to use today. It's Australian made with Australian grown peanuts. It's called Picky Picky. Okay. Alright, I'm just using my electric wok and I've cranked it on high. I've got my plates with a paper towel ready. I've got my tongs ready. I've got everything all set up. These are absolutely brilliant for footy and that too. Once our oil's hot, we want to bang the first lot in there. I'm going to do 5 at a time. Now they'll take between 5 and 8 minutes. Now pretty much everything is cooked on the inside anyway. So just give them that beautiful golden spring roll look. Once they've got that beautiful golden colour, out they come. You can absolutely tell by the colour that they even taste different with peanut oil. If you can afford it, definitely try it that way. Oh, mwah. Got to give these bad boys a crack. They are insane. Vietnamese spring rolls, and they're huge. Thank you guys so much for watching. If everything goes well, I'll be back soon with the dessert. Toodles.